the way it hurt flashed before his eyes, and like he developed everything he saw during this hallucinogenic trip into the 12 steps. It's a true story.
It's crazy.
So LSD can save your life. Anyway, this has been 4 Sheets to the Wind. We appreciate you listening.
Hey there, it's 4 Sheets to the Wind. I'm Chris, and I am thrilled to be here. If it's your first time here, thank you for checking us out, and if you're joining us for round 2, welcome back. Today, we let ourselves get carried away talking about things we've seen recently before jumping into our main topic, movies from the 90s. We each picked one, maybe a favorite, maybe a classic, maybe a surprise. Stick around to find out how many rabbits we chased before we get to it. Thanks again for listening. Let's dive in.
One on my list, Michael Bay.
The best
Mike Bay.
for sure.
Spielberg.
Sorry.
Spielberg?
Garbage.
Spielberg?
He's alright.
Open a pipe.
Is that your vape?
Yeah.
You have a vape, too, don't you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. At first, the way you looked at him, I thought that was your vape. I thought you were looking at him like, oh, you're offering up my vape.
Oh, did I look at him? I didn't even know I looked at him.
Shit. Quit staring at me.
My hat.
You're giving him those I want to fuck you last night.
He knows.
Ask me out already.
Are you a cock tease?
He's been in my house. He was in my house for like 10 days. Fucking nothing. I couldn't even get him out of bed.
Damn.
Jesus Christ.
I'm
That's
hard
terrible.
to get. I play hard to get.
That's really hard to get.
Yeah.
And
Not to mention that's maybe what, the 300th time you've done that over the last
Are we
4
recording?
years?
4 years.
Are we recording?
Always, yeah. What, did you have to stop
I was going to say
saying
something. I was about to say something. That would have been
Say
really
whatever
bad.
you want. I edit everything.
I know.
We can say whatever we want.
Fuck titties ass bitch
no,
asshole.
The
that'll
preface
probably-
is this was a joke.
This is a joke.
This is a joke. I was going to say, I think by the 10th day, it was legal at that point.
Right?
Well, God made the world in 7, so we could at least do rape at 10.
Who's
A logical step.
Who's to say that there weren't more than 10 commandments and Moses just dropped them?
I've seen things like that.
Yeah.
Right?
Oops.
Yeah. Don't murder, but
No, don't kill anybody, but
I thought there was something in my drink.
vanilla.
I'm speaking of like murder. I was just thinking about the Purge
Please.
movies. Like
Yes.
how everything's legal. Like I'm like watching that movie. It's all about murdering. And I'm thinking, well, what about the other crimes that are going on right now? Like money laundering, all this stuff. Like I want to know about this other stuff. Like
That's the thing.
That's
They don't
all-
even have to launder.
It's
It's the
true,
perk.
yeah.
That's
They're
why
just
I
like,
like
hey,
the TV show.
here you go.
Because it wasn't even the one crew like killing anyone. They just robbed a certain bank or a certain
Big
person.
banks.
Right.
I never watched a TV show. I feel like they weren't
Right.
able
First
to do it.
season was mopey and about a teenage boy in college. It's like,
That's why I didn't watch.
and then he kills someone. Then he's like, oh, I love killing, and it was dumb. But the second one was all about stealing money,
It
which
was
made sense.
populous Michael.
He
just
did.
loved killing.
Because the movies were rated R. I was like, they can't really replicate that on a TV show. I don't think.
No, not unless it was on HBO or
Yeah.
something.
It's
That's
broken. I need a
premium
new one.
channel.
That's a rig.
I know.
That
I
looks
need
like
a
a
new
Need a
one.
new one?
I stripped it right there.
That
so I
looks
need to get a
like
new one.
the bomb trigger from Source Code.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good movie.
Source Code is
Underrated.
a good fucking movie.
Underrated.
Underrated movie.
Today we are sponsored by what is it? Heaven's Door. I wrote it down because I knew Drunk Paul would forget. It's Heaven's Door, which is Bob Dylan's.
Sponsored by means that's what we're drinking.
It means I want to be sponsored by it. Sorry, we are not sponsored by, but we would like to be.
Yeah,
it's
that'd
Bob
be
Dylan's
cool.
whiskey. It's delightful.
It's
it had
fucking great.
it had a smooth taste going down, a nice burn. You can definitely feel the oak that the
Yeah,
barrel
yeah.
was aged in. But it has a nice vanilla aftertaste.
Very pleasant.
Sounds
very
delightful.
sweet. Very,
It was really good.
Was the second one from the same bottle, or did you open a different one?
Did the same one. I got 2 more bottles. One is the straight Tennessee whiskey. Another one is just a straight rye.
rye whiskey.
Yeah. But they're both Bob Dylan, so we'll try both of those. I still think, to date, Tula Mordew is absolute best, so please sponsor us. Because I drink it all the time.
How did that show up? Oh, teeny tiny little boy. Look at that.
Because I'll just send that part to them. I'll just be like, please sponsor. And they'll be like, okay.
Ooh,
Take
okay.
anything. But yeah.
That's pretty. Oh, fuck. All right, what are we talking about?
Necrosis. The Vast of Night needs to be talked about.
Please discuss.
It's an Amazon original, for one, so you can find it there if you want to watch it. If you're into the Twilight Zone, if you're into old school Spielberg, if you're into like an American graffiti type aesthetic, look no further. It's got a great cast, up and comers. You wouldn't really know their names. I can't think of them off the top of my head, but they all do a fantastic job. There's some awesome shots. It opens in a very Twilight-esque way, like with an old school Twilight
Zone. Sparkly vampires.
Not
Right.
Sparkly Vampires
Right.
No, not the sparkly vampire bitches. Twilight Zone-esque way, with the old style TV fading into a mysterious TV show known as Paradox Theater. And it's really fun. The comedy, there's some comedy in it. The dialogue is really sharp. Couldn't recommend it enough.
It is gorgeous.
I really loved it.
Yeah.
I liked it because I needed something to kind of fill in the gap of Stranger Things in between seasons, so I thought that kind of fit in just right.
Similar vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very similar vibe.
And I also love old school Spielberg, so it fit perfect with
Yeah.
that. I actually thought Spielberg did it. I had to stop the movie halfway through to see who directed it and wrote it,
There's
because I was like,
definite homages to Spielberg all throughout.
I just hope he does more movies. I don't think he's done any since that one.
I
And it's
think
like,
that's his first one.
What was that, 2019?
I know it's pretty recent.
But it's available.
It's awesome.
Amazon sponsor us.
oh wow,
I
no, it was
couldn't.
2019. Yeah, you're right. January though. So.
I watched the Pixar movie Soul recently.
Oh.
I checked that one out. It was pretty good. It wasn't like their best, but what?
No, I was trying to think what their worst was. Then, like in my mind,
Cars.
Cars 2 or 3.
2 is worse.
Yeah.
3 is even worse.
So 3. Just say 3.
Nader.
Fuck Cars 3.
Oh, damn.
How do they eat? What do they eat? They eat gasoline,
Right.
but gasoline fuels them. Do they need health insurance? Do they need car insurance? Why do they have teeth? Like, do they have mouth? Like, what? They have teeth? Why do they have teeth? They eat gasoline.
Who you asking?
Cars 2, 3.
But
Yeah.
did you question all of this? with
Lightning
Herbie?
McQueen.
Did you question all of it with Herbie though?
No, not with Herbie. Are you kidding me? Herbie was an actual car, but the Cars ones are cartoons, so they're in a different universe entirely.
You ever read the Bible?
Yes, I read the whole thing, specifically the chapter on how cars don't talk.
Well, there's your answer
No.
to everything.
Oh,
There you go.
the meaning of life.
Appreciate it.
Cars don't talk. But they did do some shots, most of their nature shots, and especially the ones overlooking the entire city of New York, were insanely good. Yeah. But genuinely like an enjoyable experience. I did get emotional a couple of times, but I'm a little bitch boy, baby boy. So
To expect that, though.
I was gonna say, it amazes me. I was watching a clip, and well, no, it wasn't Soul, but it reminded me of Soul and other movies like it. Like watching a clip of Coco, and thinking, these are animated characters, not even real characters, but you can still feel the emotion and get you emotional. And it's just amazing how even characters aren't real.
The guitar playing in Coco.
the piano playing in Soul is better.
Oh, wow.
The story of Coco got me though.
That
The
story,
whole grandma
story
thing, I
is
was
better.
like, nah, man, like that
grandma,
messed me up pretty bad. I was like,
And the spirit dog. I love when he's just hanging there
Yeah.
on his wings.
How do you pronounce that breed?
Chihuahua?
No, it's like fucking. It's a weird one. It's like,
It's like a Chihuahua mix.
well, now I've got a
Dog and Coco.
dog.
Did we come back around?
Just the one
to the
time.
midget?
One,
Just the one.
How the fuck do you say that?
I can't. I forgot my glasses.
Zola's Quint.
Okay, I don't know.
Zola's Quintuple.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Peril.
Just search this.
To pronounce the name of this dog breed from Mexico,
Oh, there we go.
also known as simply Xolo, or as the Mexican hairless dog.
No,
It is one of
Xolo.
several breeds of hairless dogs and
It's a
can
big
be
one.
found in toy,
just a hairless
miniature,
chihuahua.
or
I
standard
don't need to know the-
sizes. The Xolo also comes in a coated variety.
Just
tell me how to say it.
Hairless can be born in the same litter. We are looking at how to pronounce Xo. The X at the beginning is to be pronounced like CH. Xo, Lloyds, Quintle,
Xoloitzcuintle.
Xoloitzcuintle.
What the fuck?
I'm just gonna go with Chihuahua.
Xoloitzcuintle.
It's not a Chihuahua.
Xoloitzcuintle.
I'm just gonna. I can't do that.
To any
right
dog
now.
lovers
Xolo.
out there, we apologize for that.
It's a Chihuahua.
I can't do
It's
it.
basically-
I can't do it.
It's
It's
either
a-
a dog or a cat.
My
for
mouth
me.
can't make those words
What?
right now.
Like Ron Swanson?
You're-
It's under 10 pounds. It's
Yeah.
not a dog.
Yeah, it's a cat.
I'm
If I
just
can
gonna
punt
call it a
anywhere, it's easy.
spirit dog
Spirit
because
dog.
that's what it was.
Sholo dog.
Cholo.
Ghost wiener.
Sholo, like an S. SH.
Sholo.
You got it.
Sholo.
There you go. That's how you say the breed. It's actually Xoloitzcuintle.
Shola my titties.
It just makes me think of like a gay cholo. A cholo.
Oh my
Sholo.
god.
Yeah.
I'm a
Like-
Peachy phrase.
He can do that. To those, obviously, you can't see us. He is Hispanic, so he's allowed to do that.
By
Yes.
blood only. 100%
Paul
just blood.
Dunn is Hispanic.
I've got it.
You can find him on Facebook for proof.
Please don't look.
Look him up on Facebook.
Don't do
I'll
it.
tell you what his URL is.
I won't even
in the
add you.
description of this video. I'll find it out. So yeah, I watched Soul.
Another thing with Soul that I found really relatable was Terry. So like we all know
Yeah.
that one person we've worked with that is by the books. So he was. I love the character. I thought it was really. I was really surprised to find out the voice of that was a female.
I know that one was
Oh,
odd.
really?
Yeah, because I thought I recognized the
He's
voice.
a lady. I'll tell you, the new one I just watched on Prime recently that's been out since 2018 is called Followed.
Followed.
It's like a found footage one about this guy that starts a vlog investigating like paranormal stuff kind of as a joke just because he knows people are into that. And the guy's like, hey, I'll sponsor your thing for the next like 10 years if you do this one hotel that's haunted. And he's like, yeah, I'm going to fucking do that.
Of course.
But then it's actually haunted, and it actually wasn't even a bad movie at all. I was surprised. I thought it'd be really bad,
Right.
but I thought it was. I'd put it up there better than Paranormal Activities, and I really enjoyed the Paranormal
Wow.
Activities. Right, and it's underground. It's not like a mainstream movie. So if you have Amazon Prime still, you want a horror to watch. Followed was actually pretty good. I'd give it 7 out of 10 as well.
Really? Is anybody in it that we would know?
No, it's all no names.
Interesting.
I definitely have to watch that just because I can't see it being there in Paranormal Activity.
But
That one,
yes.
The first one.
the first one, yeah.
First one's killer.
Yeah, but even if it's just as good or almost as good,
Yeah.
I definitely
I
have to
enjoyed
catch that.
Oh, I got another one.
Rocket.
It's speaking of horror. It's a Spanish language film, but it's on Shudder right
Casa
now.
Cadre.
No, it's called Terrified in English, but it's called like Aberratos or something in Spanish for terrified.
The original one,
Yeah, the original
not the one we remade.
So the
Not
Spanish
the
one.
remake. I
the
watched
Spanish
the
one is-
original one.
We have so many horror movies.
Dude, it's
that we
terrifying.
remade.
It's terrifying. It's absolutely terrifying.
Yeah, that's the. You keep saying the name of the movie over and over.
It makes you terrified.
Just like Quarantine. Did you see Quarantine?
Quarantine was scary as
But
shit.
when because I watched I think it just record or
Yeah,
rec
Rec.
in
Yeah.
Spanish, and I was like, oh, we took the whole script. Like they didn't even try to make it seem like it was something different, like verbatim, word for word, just translated in English. I was like,
No.
we're kind of assholes.
Yeah.
for doing that.
There's a lot of really good jump scares. There's a really good story about how the spirits are traveling down this one particular street in Mexico, and it's crazy. It's very, I don't know how, you gotta watch
Terrifying.
it. Watch a trailer. Go on YouTube. Watch a trailer. I can't even describe it. It had me like with all the lights on.
Go watch it on YouTube. All you got to do is make sure that the translation that he gave you of Terrified into Spanish is appropriate, and then look up that trailer.
Or not appropriate. Fuck it. Why's it gotta be appropriate?
How many skulls would you give it out of 10?
Skulls.
Yeah, for
10,
horrifying.
10 being the most horrifying
Yeah.
I've seen in a while.
Right.
Is that our new rating system for the different genres?
For horrors, yeah. why not?
Or
Okay,
Skulls.
so we're gonna have the regular like 7 out of 10
in
with
a
stars.
while, it probably scared me like 8 out of 10.
Nice.
It was
Skulls?
It's 8
out of 10 skulls, or is it like the black cats that are like?
It's 8 out of 10.
It's 8 out of 10
skulls.
black cats.
It's fantastic. It's great.
Yeah,
And there's a nice little mystery involved as well.
delightful. Explain the entire plot.
That's it.
They don't even
Okay.
need to watch it now.
I've barely said anything about it other than it's scary as shit.
It's called Terrified in Spanish.
What did we watch on Shudder this week? We got something on Shudder. A Shudder movie this week.
Oh, The Hunted.
The Hunted. Okay.
Oh yeah, I was wondering how that.
It was not that. It wasn't good.
Be honest. We want to be honest.
I would give that 2 out of 10 skulls just because.
Wow, so it was almost as good as Wonder Woman 84.
Yeah. Yeah. But they had no budget, and I expected it to be pretty bad, but it was a lot worse than I thought it would be. Because the trailer is misleading, because they make it sound, they say it's a retelling of Little Red Riding Hood, and you knew the forest and the animals were supposed to save her from getting raped and killed. Yeah. So you were like, okay, cool. And you get that from the trailer as well, and then you watch it, and the animals don't do shit, and there's no saving the forest. She just cracks out in the woods. Yeah. Then they get to real area, and then she kills them, and the animals, like, none of that happened. Yeah. So it's just like...
Sounds like my weekends.
Fucking bar mitzvahs, man.
Yeah. L'chaim.
The trailer was extremely misleading to the movie.
I hate when that happens.
It was like Midsommar for me.
Yeah,
in that sense, where they made Midsommar look like it was going to be just like a straight horror.
Yeah.
But then it was more of a drama, in my opinion.
It was so much more of a drama.
But if they had told me it was going to be a drama, I would have loved it so much more.
Right,
because
it's the expectation.
Right, a little bit of dark comedy.
Right, the thing that Midsommar did that was so different than a lot of other places, or a lot of other movies, was that it tried to go for the psychological play, like by creating safety. Like you felt like fine watching it because you're just like, well, this is kind of weird, but okay. But that's exactly what the characters in the movie were thinking. And like they were playing that the same way. So I think the idea was that when they were as uncomfortable as possible, you also felt that level of discomfort. Right. Because the rest of the time you were just like, I mean, this is weird, but okay. Nothing bad's happening. Nothing bad's happening. Why did that woman jump headfirst into the ground? Huh.
Because why not?
Yeah.
Seemed like a good idea at the time.
And honestly, why, like, if you see that as somebody who's not from there and someone's like, no, this is like the best day of their lives. Like, right. Cool. It's also the last day of their lives. I'm leaving. I would be running. Like, go. Anything that I had there? No, don't need it.
I'd have been making a makeshift raft for months before and just take a break for it.
Yeah. I just want a gun.
Set sail.
Yeah, just a gun.
I would have cast away the
just
fuck out of it.
They'll make a second one, and it's like she's running through the woods.
What's that?
It's Rambo.
It's gonna be mid-fall.
Yeah. All right, you can write that. Let's write it.
It's gonna be the next Rambo mixed together.
But
then they run into Predator.
Rambummer.
Dots appear up on it.
Can Terminator make an appearance too?
Why not?
Because the Terminator... Oh my god, Terminator and Predator together.
If you have the new Mortal Kombat, you can do that.
Or if you play Fortnite, they just have those characters in Fortnite now, yeah.
They're
throwing everything.
Oh, Christ.
They're throwing everything at Fortnite right now.
Daddy, you son of a bitch. I love that fucking...
Just have CIA go up on their pushing arms. Too many pencils.
Now I want to watch Predator. I enjoyed the newest installation of Predator.
The Predator.
I actually enjoyed that one.
The Predator dogs. I like the Predator dog.
It was not what I was expecting it to be, but I did have a lot of fun watching it. Yeah. Probably because I was drunk.
The Predator breakout scene when he breaks out of the lab, that is bad.
Yeah, that was awesome.
And it shows him running up top on the roof. And them on the bus finally deciding to work together. It felt like an old Predator movie. It felt like that again.
The comedy was unexpected and very appreciated in this movie.
I think something I watched recently, it's not a movie. It was more of a limited series on Netflix, but I really enjoyed it, was The Night Stalker by Richard Ramirez.
How was it?
I loved it. Yeah. I loved it. There was apparently complaints that it was too graphic, and I'm just like, it's on Netflix about a serial killer. What do you expect?
Okay.
You know who
but that's what, to me, that's what made it better, is Netflix can actually show whatever they want. There's no, content filter. They can show it if they want to show it, and they did. That's what I liked about it. They showed the pictures that were, the murder, the scenes and stuff. Yeah. Most of the time they showed some bodies, but not, I guess only ones that their families approved. But I think more than anything, I liked, and they were interviewing, I wish I remember his name, they were interviewing, several of the investigators, and they really gave their actual emotional reactions. They were just kind of like, this fucking motherfucker. Like they were saying, oh, it's like good to see that instead of the more professional, watch like Forensic Files or whatever. So like they were really showing their true emotions. Yeah, they were pissed off. Like they were like really letting it go. And I that's what I
cool,
like.
Actually.
Gets to you.
Yeah, Forensic Files, I can fall asleep tonight. Yeah. Stalker, I couldn't.
Yeah, Brittany does.
Night Stalker. I don't mind. I just like his monotone voice. I like, did Daniel kill his whole family?
Yeah.
Or did his wife actually run out with him and his best friend? We'll find out.
Have you heard Bill Hader's impression of the guys from like Dateline?
Yes.
My mom loves Dateline.
I love Bill Hader.
Me too.
Same.
All of his voices are killer.
Loved him. Barry.
God,
Yeah,
Barry is
Barry's
so good. When does season 3 come out?
I think this summer. I believe, if I'm not
But
mistaken.
what's his face to me is the best in that show.
The Russian guy,
Hank?
Yeah,
Yes.
Hank.
Yeah.
Hank's the best.
Okay, so little fun fact about that guy. When he went in for the audition, like he has alopecia, so he actually doesn't have any hair. But he had his wife's family was from somewhere in Eastern Europe, and he's been doing an accent to make fun of them.
Yeah.
So he just went in, didn't really pay a lot of attention to the script, and just spoke like he made the guy super nice for no reason at all.
Yeah, it works.
And just used the accent that he made fun of his wife's family with.
Yeah.
And they were like, you already know this character better than we do. Please be on the show. And that's how he got it.
Although when they're on the roof and they're trying to kill Barry when he's in his room, and he goes, "You suck a dick.
You're the
If
king.
I suck a dick, you a king of suck a dick a mountain."
Oh, man.
I liked him when he was writing a letter home to Russia.
Yeah.
That email. Cristobal and I.
Yeah.
You're actually pretty good at volleyball.
God, he's such a good character.
Mm-hmm.
That whole show. But
There's one moment that has always stuck with me, and it was in the penultimate episode of season 1, where he kills his friend in the car.
Yeah.
And then has to go be on stage and actually uses it.
Yeah.
And like really acts. And that was such a powerful moment. And mainly because of how much build up there was to it from him backstage.
Right.
Like having a full on breakdown.
Mm-hmm.
And that tension building in her, everything was just.
There's a lot going on into that.
Yeah.
Barry is very good at building emotional tension.
Mm-hmm.
Like emotional and like real, like something is about to happen.
Yes.
And then they fully subvert it sometimes, like that episode with the little kid in the tree. Like the crazy karate girl. Do you remember that one?
Yeah.
I do.
What the fuck?
And she just runs off.
She like bites his neck.
Bites
right?
his neck.
And then
bites
takes
him
it, goes
and-
out the window.
And takes off out the window like a monkey.
I had to hold that. Okay. You're good. Yeah,
I
very,
heard
very,
some
very good
fun
show.
news yesterday that the Batman the Animated Series, which if you haven't seen that at all growing up, was fantastic even as an adult to watch, might be getting a sequel to Fask of the
Fask of the
Phantasm.
Love
Mask of the Phantasm might be getting a sequel. Movie recently announced.
I just
That would be
watched
really cool.
Batman Beyond recently since it's on
Oh,
HBO
God,
Max
I love
now.
Batman
So fun.
Beyond. Terry McGinnis.
Yes.
He's the best, dude.
I enjoy the
Old
villains.
Man
in that.
Wayne. Yeah, the villains are awesome. And the Jokers, the gang. Isn't that what they're called? The
Yeah.
Jokers.
I loved the movies, The Dark Knight Rises, or not, the Dark Knight Returns, the animated ones.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah, they did a great
DC did.
job. They did a great job bringing those to
That
life.
and like Flashpoint are some of my go-tos.
Flashpoint Paradox is my favorite animated movie from DC.
Yeah, I would agree with that. It's incredibly good.
I love getting to see alternate timelines
I loved, the my connection was interrupted. Interrupted by what?
and time travel. I'm all about that shit.
Right.
Give it to me. Yeah.
Season 3. Lana, no shit. Not even a schedule or anything, huh? God damn it. Just tell me when Barry season 3 is coming out.
COVID's
Never.
halted
Right.
everything.
Yeah.
I know, but like,
There's still
There's no
producing.
buts. Yeah.
stuff.
I mean, it hasn't halted everything. I'm still going to work on it.
It should help. Gives them time to work on the creative process of the show, and hopefully we'll be all the better for it.
So if you go out to Walmart and Target, it doesn't like anything's halted there. Everybody and their mother.
No, they're all there.
Maskless as shit, too.
Right.
Yeah.
I tested negative for COVID recently, thank God.
Hooray!
Yay. Me as well.
Good
Me
job.
too.
Ooh.
I still got herpes.
Oh, that shit don't go away, Paul. I don't know if they told you that.
So, ladies, if you're interested and you're okay with her, no, I'm kidding.
The best
If you're
part-
one of my exes that hates me, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Hey, when you guys hit the
Right,
side
right.
of your head, does it make a noise?
When we hit what? With what?
Like, does your head sound like that when you hit it?
I don't know. I can't hear it. I hear my head getting hit.
It sounds hollow, though. I don't like that it sounds hollow.
It is. You have
That just
soft
means
spot.
you got room for improvement.
I think that's that ether that took out like a fourth of my fucking brain. I think that's what that gap is.
Dude, just go to the ether and be like, hey man, I need that back. And it'll suck it back in your brain.
But if I believe Insidious, I'll never get it back because the ether is everything. Or no, that was Thor. Sorry, that was the further. Insidious. Thor was the ether.
Hey, what franchise are we in, Paul?
We're just bouncing universes, buddy.
Oh man, my brain can't handle all that.
Beer.
We love movies here at Four Sheets to the Wind.
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
That's the main thing.
And we'd like to thank that we now have reached 5 trillion subscribers.
If you're listening to us from the Andromeda Galaxy, that's
Right.
thanks. I appreciate it. You're a few years late. We're probably all dead.
We were all what we were when we weren't.
Jeez.
All right.
Not drunk
And
enough
with
for
that,
that's it. Here, we can end this one on this note.
My name is Lieutenant Aldo Ray, and I'm putting together a special team, and I need me 8 soldiers. 8 Jewish American soldiers. Now, y'all might have heard rumors about the Armada happening soon. Well, we'll be leaving a little earlier. We're going to be dropped into France dressed as civilians. Once we're in enemy territory, as a bushwhacking guerrilla army, we're going to be doing one thing and one thing only. Killing Nazis. Sound good? Yes, sir!
fuck yeah.
Yeah, it was kind of set up the way. Just so everyone's aware, the next chapter of this episode is going to be each of us got to choose a movie in the 90s that we decided to dissect or talk about the impacts it had on the world or movies in general, what we liked about it, maybe even disliked. But just a little dive deeper into all the movies we're going to talk about, and you may learn something new. We may not mention something you knew about it, but it should be interesting, and at least you know where our heads are at.
If we leave out something in one of the movies that we talk about that you know that we don't talk about, tell us. Somehow. Find a way.
Yeah. And we'll bring it up. At the next podcast, or next time we can, we'll bring it up.
I'll send you a quarter in the mail.
There
Or
you
not,
go.
because maybe we all think everyone fucking knows it, and that's why we didn't talk about it.
True.
So you're simple-minded, but that's probably why you're
Tell
listening
us
to us.
your comments and get a free decoder ring.
Do you have a decoder ring?
I can give him a lighter that doesn't have fluid.
Oh my god.
Yeah, we'll give you one of Paul's lighters, I guess. Sure.
Smoke break! Smoke if you got it.
Control, connection enemies Pistonia. Elder the Apache and the Little Man. The German's nickname for me is the Little Man. And as if to make my point, I'm a little surprised how tall you were in real life. You're a little fella, but not circus midget little.
He said midget, I heard it.
He did. He said circus midget.
Yeah.
Well,
I thought we weren't allowed to say midget.
we're not.
It's in the movie.
He is.
Isn't life one giant movie?
And we all get to
Is
play
it?
a part.
Is it? Is it a simulation, Paul? Is that what you're asking?
I guess
You
we'll
know
find out when
what's
you talk
fucking
about
crazy?
the Matrix.
I'm talking about the goddamn Matrix.
Why don't you email Morpheus and ask him to pull your ass out so I don't have to hear you complain anymore about how we're in a Matrix. I don't care if this isn't Moe's. It tastes like Moe's.
Fucking Morpheus.
So what we're doing, everybody, we're talking about movies from the 90s. We kind of just picked a movie from the 90s and we're talking about it. That's as much thought as we put into it. So
let's see where it takes us.
Yeah, let's just see where we go with it.
And I can begin.
Go for it, man.
That's okay. So the movie I did, if you've listened to the previous podcast, it was one of those that I talked about it being one of my favorites. It was Scream. Came out in 1996. It was directed by Wes Craven, written by Kevin Williamson. Had a budget of $15 million, and it made $173 million at the box office. I wish I'd looked up to see how much it's made since then, because I feel like it's just gone up in popularity and kind of a cult.
I gotta check.
Had like a cult following. Had a pretty good cast for the time, I'd say. Neve Campbell, Drew Barrymore, David Arquette, Courtney Cox, Matthew Lillard, Jamie Kennedy, Skeet Ulrich, Rose McGowan, Liev Schreiber, and Henry Winkler were some of the ones in there.
God, classic Henry Winkler.
You stabbed me too deep, you dick!
Definitely a lot of one-liners in there to use as well.
Feeling woozy.
Yeah, feeling a little woozy.
Yeah.
You hit me with the phone, dick. Which was actually him getting hit with the phone, and he really got hit with the phone. That's not how that scene was supposed to go. The fake blood they used was so slippery in Billy Loomis's hand, played by Skeet Ulrich, that it slipped out of his hand and actually hit Matthew Lillard in the head, and that was his actual genuine response to it.
That's what turned it into shame.
So I thought that was funny looking this up. So
That's hilarious.
the inspiration for this movie, it came from Kevin Williamson, who was a screenwriter for it. Apparently, it's based off of some real-life student murders in Gainesville, Florida. The killer was named Harold Rowling, and he was the Gainesville Ripper. He also gained inspiration from John Carpenter's 1978 Halloween, which was his favorite movie.
That's pretty cool.
Also, something I found kind of interesting was the original, what they originally were going to call this movie was going to be Scary Movie. And that's what the parody of the movie is now. That's what it's called. It's called Scary Movie. They changed it to Scream. And I mean, for those that don't know about the movie, go and watch it. I recommend it highly. 1 and 2 definitely. 3, is not the best, but still. 1 and 2 are great.
Bangs and 3 are insane. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Her hair was like out like
Yeah.
this. I think somebody tweeted at her about it. She was like, "What the fuck?"
But
3, yeah.
the movie is pretty much just about high school students getting killed one by one by a mass killer. I mean, that's the most general way of putting it. But it's definitely a lot more than that. This movie, it revitalized the slasher film genre.
And it's meta as fuck.
Yeah, it was just a great movie. Everything about it, in my opinion, was great. When I was writing this down, it made me think of a movie that Kevin Williamson did Kevin Williamson did the following year. I Know What You Did Last Summer.
I used to get those two confused so much before I knew better.
Yeah, and
so much fun though.
Yeah, just started up that slasher film genre again. It was great, and I think it did a great job, kind of parodying itself with the satire, kind of a perfect balance of humor, of scare, seriousness, satire, and some good twists along the way.
Badass final girl with Sidney Prescott.
Yeah.
She's badass.
Can't kill her. There are a lot of, and I didn't really realize how many nods to other horror films in this movie that there were until I was looking at it and researching for this. I mean, there's, of course, the trivia about the killer when he's calling, what's your favorite scary movie? The Killer in Friday the 13th. They were watching Halloween in one scene. Billy Loomis.
I'll be right back.
Yeah. Billy Loomis's line, we all go a little mad sometimes.
That's a classic one.
Apparently Nightmare on Elm Street was apparently the biggest thing that they gave nods to. Wes Craven was actually in the movie. He was dressed similarly to Freddy Krueger, and he played a janitor named Fred. I think he was wearing the hat and the sweater.
Cool. Yeah.
And so that was in there.
Thanks, Fred. You can go home now.
Riley Tatum, who was played by Rose McGowan, in one line to Sydney, said she's acting like a Wes Carpenter flick, which is combining Wes Craven and John Carpenter's names together. Billy sneaking into Sydney's room, kind of a strong resemblance to Depp and Nightmare on Elm Street. Covered him, and we've talked about this before we started the podcast. The Loomis surname is that of Donald Pleasance's character in Halloween, or Love. Was it his character or Love?
Dr. Loomis.
Yeah, Dr. Loomis.
And
psychiatrist or whatever. Yeah.
of course, the fake blood they use, like the Blood and Carry. and just general conversations that mostly revolved with Randy. You know, making the rules and all. He was a big horror movie guy, and he was probably my favorite character in the movie.
The name Randy makes me laugh.
Randy's the best in those.
Yeah, I think
the rules stand up.
Yeah.
I've always gone by the rules.
It's kind of the first time I've ever seen a movie kind of list out rules like that, and it's kind of like they knew they were in a movie, and like they're kind of parodying themselves. And I wrote down the rules. Everyone's a suspect. You can never have sex. You can never drink or do drugs, and never say "I'll be right back." And
I think they go over those rules in Cabin in the Woods.
They do? Okay.
Because that's all. Yeah. It's a whole structure for that. I think they lay out the same thing. So that's continued today.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Apparently, the trailer, they had other rules in the trailer: don't answer the phone, don't open the door, don't try to hide, and don't scream.
Yep.
And then, even though I didn't do this movie, Scream 2 had rules to higher body count, more elaborate death scenes, and never assume the killer is dead.
Which is all true and holds up.
Yeah.
That applies to everything.
Yep.
Yeah. And of course, the movie itself, it centers around Sidney Prescott, that played by Neve Campbell. The killer targets her as she's dealing with the anniversary of her mother's death and rape. And I found it interesting that Drew Barrymore was originally cast to play Sidney Prescott, but she declined. She switched to the first person killed off in the first act, kind of like to be a kind of a shock thing, showing that
the opening scene.
Yeah, just to kind of show that a major star got killed off right at the beginning, like that they, this was
nobody's safe.
Nobody's safe. Yeah, it was a pretty crazy thing at the time. And apparently Molly Ringwald was offered the role of Sidney Prescott too.
Interesting.
I don't think I could see her as that, but who knows?
That's weird. I'm sober.
What?
I'm sober.
Why?
I'm joking. I'm just trying to tell myself I'm alright.
Oh, yeah, calm down.
I am calm, you fucking asshole.
Matt, please continue.
But yes, overall, I've always loved this movie. I think it's withstood the test of time. I can watch it anytime and enjoy it, just like the first time I watched it. It was just perfect from start to finish. Just everything. I also looked up kind of like trivia-ish or kind of just special things about the movie itself that I found interesting. It took 8 weeks of filming. The last scene, or not last scene, the scene, I think it might have been the last scene. It was like about 41 minutes long. They filmed it over 21 days from sundown to sunup.
Jesus.
Yeah, it took 21 days to film 41 minutes or get 41 minutes of usable film, which was, I can't even imagine. Like, Wes Craven kept telling Drew Barrymore real life stories of animal cruelty, so it would keep her looking scared and crying. Apparently, she's a huge animal lover. Aww. So that's how he kept her kind of in character.
What a director! What a fucking move!
Right?
How you doing today? Guess what?
Hey, look,
2 cats just got put down in the last 3 seconds.
And here's how it happened, and here's how they felt, and here's why.
That story I told you earlier, I made that up at lunch. I'm just joking. I don't want to make you feel bad. I'm sorry, Drew. That is a true story. Don't tell her.
I did it. I killed the cat.
I just killed the dog while pulling in the driveway. My dog!
Apparently the police came to the set, or maybe, I don't know if they came or called to, I think they both, they came to the set and called to the set a few times thinking that there was actually a killer calling around. And then also, someone forgot to unplug the phone that Drew Barrymore used in her opening scene, and she actually calls 911, leading to these 911 operators hearing her scream for her life, apparently.
Oh,
right. I was like, who made that mistake? But that was, I found that to be interesting. And of course, the famous mask that was apparently found during scouting locations. Craven saw it in someone's bedroom when he was scouting locations and got them to make a similar mask because they couldn't use that actual mask.
Right.
What a mask.
Iconic.
You wear that mask,
Iconic.
you always know what movie it is.
Yeah.
Ghostface, baby.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And Bob Weinstein, when he first saw the mask, he said, no, we're not using this. And they fought him on it. They said, we'll stop production if we don't use this mask. And they were like, just let us do the scene with Drew Barrymore. Watch it and tell us what you think. And he watched it and he's like, good to go.
Yeah.
So sold it for him. He changed his mind.
I love the scene when Sydney's first spending the night at Rose McGowan's character's house, and he calls her, and she leaves the phone hanging there, and Dewey walks up and hello, like all serious. Yeah. And sorry, hung up. Yeah, he looks around.
Oh yeah,
I love
Deputy Dewey.
I like him when they introduce him where she first gets like almost attacked at her house, and Dewey comes to the door, and then she screams, and then
he's got the mask in his hand. Yeah,
she's like, ah!
Fucking love Dewey. He comes through in the clutch though.
Yeah,
he does.
Yeah, or he gets stabbed in the back.
Yeah.
Spoilers.
No, spoiler. Yeah,
They're all 90s movies. If y'all haven't
If you
seen
haven't
these
seen these
fuckers by
movies,
now,
yeah,
fuck you.
That's on you.
You shouldn't be listening to our podcast then.
No, you should definitely be listening to our podcast. But, do better.
Yeah.
Watch it, pause it, come back to us.
You damn Mormons. Not watching good shit.
That's...
You should attack the whole Mormon community.
131.
I'm sorry.
Oh, God.
It's your fault for bringing it up earlier.
Yeah, that's my fault.
My fault.
okay.
Fuck, I need more alcohol.
So yeah, great movie.
I love this. It's a fantastic.
Scream's
movie.
amazing.
Scream is a very good movie.
And
We're
it's
going to
scary.
spoil it for everybody. The big reveal: Stu and Billy are the killers. Billy is Nev Campbell's boyfriend in the movie. I swear, if she just fucked him, he probably wouldn't have been a killer. No,
Yeah, seriously, just get on your knees every once
right.
in a while.
Apparently, Billy's dad had an affair with Sydney's mom,
Yeah.
and of course, Sydney had been accusing this other character in the movie, Cotton Weary, played by Liev Schreiber, as being the killer. But it turns out it was her own boyfriend's dad.
Cotton is a dick, though. A little bit of a
he
dick.
is. Yeah, he is a
Yeah,
little
but
dick.
really
I still like him.
incredibly
Yeah,
versatile
I don't
fabric.
hate him.
Yeah,
I feel bad for him because he did get shitted on hardcore.
yeah.
Real bad.
Yeah, and then ends up just getting fucking slaughtered.
Yeah, and so Billy wants to kill Sydney and her dad just because he feels like that her dad wrecked his parents' marriage. And I guess Stu just got roped in with him, decided to do it with him, and try to make it like a murder-suicide at the end. And, well, of course, we all know how that went.
I think the implication of Scary Movie, the relationship of the two that were playing their opposite, their characters, they were like kind of gay. And I think that was the read.
Yeah.
Like, that's
True.
what it really is like...
Let's try anything about that. That's a good point.
Stu
I
got
mean,
a
they made it
14
funny, but
on
like,
him.
Yeah.
I could totally see it.
Yeah.
Stu got a TV.
Not that there's
on
anything
his
wrong with
head.
that.
Right?
Do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Just be happy. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, but don't kill people.
Yeah, just don't, make it a murder thing. Do
No.
like Thelma and Louise if you're going to do
Just
anything
don't.
like that.
No children or elderly people.
All
disabled.
families are complicated, is what we're saying.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
we all
if you
got
have to
shit.
kill... I mean, if you want to, just don't do it, though.
Yeah.
Don't get caught.
Yeah.
Don't...
And if you do it, you can write into us. And let us know.
136. Not even 2 minutes. 2 minutes.
What do you expect from me? Wild card, bitch.
Cinco minutos,
What is this?
bitchy
Wild
face.
card. Oh, screwball.
Oh, okay.
You ever had it?
That's the
screw.
peanut butter one, right?
Yeah.
So good. So good.
Oh, then I should probably stop smoking. Well, I mean, this is Cookie Crisp.
You'll
You
enjoy it.
can babysit that, but it tastes.
Babysit it like a little baby newborn baby.
More baby.
Guess the last thing I'll say before passing it off to whoever wants to go next. I remember I didn't watch this movie when it first came out in '96. I would have been 11. I didn't really know about it until I was in high school. A friend of mine, Tori, she mentioned these movies and she was like, "You gotta watch them. You gotta watch them." I was like, "Okay, I guess I'll watch it." And I'm glad I did. I'm glad she convinced me to watch them. And yeah, but I definitely recommend them. Even though you spoiled them, they're still worth a watch.
Absolutely.
Just to
All
see
the
how-
bullshit that we're saying doesn't do any of
Yes.
the actual stuff justice.
Yes.
You can't imagine it better than it actually is.
Yeah.
Mhm.
For sure. For sure.
How many knives do you give it since it's a slasher film?
I mean, that for me, it's a 10 out of 10.
I would agree.
10 knives.
10 knives.
For me, it's
10 knives. 10 ghost faces. 10 little ghosty boys.
I could do a 10 Scream movie.
10 Scream movies.
I'd be cool with it.
I want, if they're going that far, I want them to combine with the Fast and Furious franchise.
Oh, God.
But then
Please no.
But then I won't watch it.
Please no.
I've never seen any of those.
Oh.
And I never will. But that's a different
Dude.
story.
Fast
anyway.
5 is a good ass movie.
Fast 4.
That
I like
train
Fast 4 and
sequence is
5.
good. Yeah,
That's when they're
I like them all.
not. That's when they're not like.
I
about
enjoy
the
them
cars.
all.
I enjoy them all, yeah.
At some point, Ludacris is just like, "Oh yeah, I learned how to hack because
Right.
you know what?" And they're like, "What the fuck?" And then he builds like the little GoPro camera on the remote control car, and he's
Yeah.
like, "Wow, I can identify that vault by the model name because you can see from this it's impenetrable.
Right.
Except for me, I can do it though."
Right.
In the second
But, like,
movie,
you
he
just
can
kinda
only
have to
change
drag it through the
rims
city
and
first.
take tires out.
Now The Rock
Yeah,
and
in
Jason
the second
Statham.
movie, he's a street
Had
race
a comb in
organizer.
his hair. Yeah,
Now The Rock and Jason Statham have taken those movies over, which is
Yeah.
pissing Vin Diesel off.
He's a little tit baby.
He's not. He's so
a little
pissed.
He's such a little tit baby.
Yeah, now that we know how much money he made for saying I am Groot,
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I don't
Right.
fucking give a shit.
I don't either. Me either.
That's fair.
That is the most.
We
He's
shit
my
talked him
entire
last
asshole.
time, last
Yeah.
episode.
Hey, Vin Diesel, unless you want to come teach us how to play Dungeons and Dragons better, I guess, fuck off.
Eat a dick.
Eat my entire asshole.
You're the king of dick sucking.
Try to fight the
Yeah.
Rock so he can level
The
you.
Rock would kick your ass any day in the grass.
Little baby
son.
man. Little baby man.
Little baby. Little baby. Little baby Vin.
Little baby Vin.
But if you ever want to be on our show to be interviewed, hey, we'd like to have you on here. Why
Yeah,
not?
come on. Please
Yeah.
come.
Yeah.
I ain't paying you worth shit.
You're not even getting whiskey.
Smoke you out.
You get the Snickle Fritz. You get that bottle that's been chilling down on my bottom shelf for like 2
Vin
years.
gets the snickle fritz.
I'll blow in your face from 4 feet away.
Speaking of money, they both got Powerball and the Mega Millions were hit this week.
Yeah.
Someone won. One in Maryland, one in Michigan for the other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God.
Win that money.
Should have been me.
I just want 1,000,000 Krabby Patties in a vault of all the D's.
Did y'all ever go to a Big D theater under Carmine?
Yeah, that's where we saw Hardcore
we saw
Henry.
Hardcore Henry.
I don't know. I'd love to be in that round table
Yeah.
discussing what should we call
Yeah.
our big screen platform. Big D. Fuck it.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's it. That's the one.
And the way
What
that
else at
there
that
was
point?
the greatest thing I ever heard from someone that worked there, and also when I was working there, was the tickets printed for Beauty and the Beast in Big D, but it cut off part of it, so it ended up being Beauty and the Big D. Is what it looked like on my ticket. And they were like, and that's happened before, like with our screens outside each theater tells you the movie for I think it was American Assassin.
American ass.
It was American Ass. And I looked down there, I saw American Ass, I was like, that's fucking amazing. And I get an email that same day, we're going to update your marquee so that it doesn't say that. I'm like, please don't.
No, I don't want you to.
Those beautiful accents that make life great. I love them.
It's just, oh man, those things like that are great.
American ass.
I'm glad to be away from working there because working with the general public,
Oh,
that's the fucking worst. People suck.
they think you have as a manager the power to do everything, and I didn't.
Yeah.
Nor do they deserve it. And the customer is not always right. Sorry to tell everyone out there. Let me break you to you.
Movies are good though.
But yeah, movies are good. Which one do you want to talk about, bud?
Yeah, do you want to go?
Yeah. Good job, though, Matt. I enjoyed that.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Scream is great.
Here comes some applause.
For my movie, I chose from the 90s Avengers Endgame.
Oh my god!
I'm just playing. I chose The Fugitive, starring Harrison Ford and Tommy Lee Jones and Julianne Moore, and a great supporting cast, including which Joey Pantoliano, love him. I think he shows up in Trent's movie as well. A couple of cool things about The Fugitive. It's based off a TV show from 1963. Same premise, same character. Dr. Richard Kimball. The Limp.
This is my friend, Dr. Richard Kimball.
Yeah.
What was that accent?
Right. I'm not sure who you're offending.
It's a Russian.
No, that's what he sounds like.
Oh, okay.
That's what the guy sounds
Ladies
like.
and gentlemen, my good friend, Dr. Richard Kimball.
The bad guy. Yeah, that's his
Yeah.
friend. His friend in quotations.
You switched the samples!
Yeah. Didn't ya? The limp
You'll get there.
that Harrison Ford has in the movie is a real limp. He tore his ligament in his knee. I can't remember which one. But he refused to get surgery on it until he finished filming. So the limp that he's got through the whole movie is a real limp, which I thought was pretty cool. I love the opening credits of showing him getting sentenced and like the shock on his face and him getting interrogated and saying, "I did not kill my wife. You find this man. You find this man."
He had one arm.
One-armed man.
You find this man.
I love that. The train scene and the bus escape, the train crash was filmed in Dillsboro, North Carolina. And you can currently go there and see the train crash where it sits to this very day.
Let's take a trip. We'll vlog it.
I love the little things showing how smart Kimball is, like when and his empathy, like when he rescues the kid that he sees got his chart wrong in the ER and he changes it and takes him to the right floor instead. It's just these really sweet moments, like he risks his own getting compromised and getting found. And I love Tommy Lee Jones being a smart-ass U.S. Marshal.
So smart.
And he's
like knowing to look for the L train
and
just off of that one image.
Yeah.
That was
and isolating
but
that.
Like, I believe it.
Yeah.
Nothing that anybody did in that movie felt like it was out of reach or out of character.
And his whole team worked together really well. It was directed by Andrew Davis, who didn't really do jack shit after this, which is crazy to me because he's really good in this, directing this movie. It's a fantastic thriller and action movie. The music's by James Newton Howard, who's done a shit ton of stuff. You can look up any number of things he's doing and has done. But yeah, it's just an awesome action movie. Harrison Ford's never been better. He's not dialing it in whatsoever. You totally believe the terror on his face, the how he outwits the cops and the U.S. Marshals is awesome, and him doing his own little investigation while Tommy Lee Jones is on the trail of him picking up breadcrumbs is awesome, and when they all converge, it's just all very satisfying, and I couldn't recommend it enough. The sequel, U.S. Marshals, is also pretty good, but nowhere near as good as The Fugitive is.
Agreed.
But if you're a Harrison Ford fan, you can't miss it, and if you like action or thriller mysteries...
If you like movies, you'll like The Fugitive.
Yeah.
It's almost a perfect movie.
Yeah, it's got great music, great action, great acting, great visual effects, some really cool practical stunts. The bus escape and train crash in the beginning is one of the best.
That set the standard for a lot of movies to follow.
Yeah, and showing him running with the chains on his feet still, and that fucking train coming behind him. It's awesome.
It's one movie I might need to watch again. That's only I remember I was telling you earlier the sewer drain pipe running, jumping.
That scene was so pivotal and so great. We were just talking about this earlier. It felt like that was both of their characters summed up in one line and one interaction.
I did not kill my wife. I don't care.
Yeah, they're both very like linearly motivated, and they have one purpose, and it's like an unstoppable force meeting an immovable object, and that clash, like turning out to be something that they build mutual respect off of, is just incredibly good character development for two characters that stay like majorly the same the rest of the time too.
I like him catching on to Kimball's theories too and starting to get with Kimball's side, and he's like, oh shit, maybe Kimball isn't bullshitting.
It's like by following his trail there, he's also so good at picking up all this stuff.
And I like when they go get the other guy that escaped, the black guy that escapes, that leaves everybody.
Yeah.
I like when it shows Tommy Lee Jones and his team going to get him, and they're all dressed up as hobos and stuff, and they drop the badges down and stuff like that, and raid the house. It's cool. There's just a lot of cool scenes in the movie.
Very well shot.
That's pretty much all I got to say. It's just your ram bam action thriller. Go watch it.
Go.
So how many guns would you give it since it's action film?
Yeah, there we go.
How many crash trains?
How many train crashes out of 10?
How many
I'm going
cars?
to give it 8.5 out of 10 train crashes.
That is fair.
That's fair. Very fair.
That is fair. Paul, you want to go ahead?
Yeah, I'll go ahead.
Because I got mine's. It's a long one.
It's a long
Yeah,
that's what she
can
said.
dive
Where are we
way
right
deep
now?
into his.
Cody, yeah! First off, I want to say it was hard to pick one movie in the 90s.
For sure.
I know.
Because
for sure.
the movie I chose is one of my favorites, but it's not my absolute favorite of the 90s. And I'm sure everyone here would agree that we couldn't just pick just one, but we did. So I tried to choose one that I really enjoyed and one that I didn't know a lot about, so that...
I'm sorry. I'm looking strong. He's trying to talk. Damn it. And I look at him. He's just giving this look like, you motherfucker.
Oh, man, it was you realizing that you
yes, it is. I realized, I was like,
oh, that was great.
This chair makes you want to cause noise that goes
It's
into
all
the
good,
mic.
Okay, but no, I tried to decide a movie that I honestly didn't know much of a backstory about, why they did it, who did it. I just didn't know a lot about the Blair Witch Project, so that's why I chose this movie. All right, so the Blair Witch Project. First off, I want to look up if this was one of the first found footage style films, which I was really surprised that it wasn't even second or third. It was the 9th movie to ever come out with found footage. Out of all the movies before it, the only 2 I knew was the 1961 The Connection. I did see that one. And then Cannibal Holocaust, which came out in the late 70s. But those were the only 2.
Yeah,
so
I guess that technically is.
Right. So there were 7 others besides that.
I can't watch that movie.
It's tough.
Yeah.
It is tough. This was, however, one of the first POV found footage. Where it was just shot from just recorders like that. And I think it's one that everyone will agree is the most well-known, and it really set the bridge for other movies such as Paranormal Activity, Cloverfield, Diary of the Dead. There have been plenty of movies that have used that method and actually, I think, brought more life to it than just Blair Witch did.
The Visit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a good one.
Yes.
That one was good.
The Blair Witch budget was less than $25,000. Daniel and Eduardo, the writers and directors for the movie, were given, and they made over $248 million in theaters worldwide.
It's pretty good.
That's really
Pretty good haul.
That's pretty good.
And it's
I think it's the most profitable movie of all time.
Right, I was
for
gonna
an
say,
independent film,
yeah,
especially,
It's
yes.
a nice return on investment.
Oh, yes. They did great.
10,000%.
Right.
Daniel said he came up with the idea in 1993, actually, but it took him 6 years before they actually decided to make the movie, which I kind of thought was interesting because they never said they really added anything to it or took anything away from it. It was just more like, hey, man, I think we should make a movie and make it about the woods and a witch being in it, and then never talked about it. And 6 years later, it was like, hey, remember that idea? Let's go ahead and make it happen. It's not like anything really changed for either of them to do it, but I'm glad they did.
Interesting.
I didn't know this about the movie because, unfortunately, I was 8 years old when it came out, so I didn't see it in theater either, just like Matt was talking about. But they did a limited soft release on July 14th in 99, but then a worldwide one on the 30th. And I didn't know that because I didn't realize that they actually did soft screenings like that in the 90s, honestly. But I guess they were doing soft screenings like that. But for an independent film, I thought it was kind of weird too. Right. No, absolutely. Another interesting thing that I found out about this was audition process for the directors, because they didn't want just the regular Joe Schmoes or regular actors or big name actors. So they put posters up and said, if you're reading this, you probably don't want this acting gig, so don't even bother showing up, and then had the address underneath. And they didn't have, I think they said they had less than 50 people come to audition. And how they did the whole audition was they said, hey, we're a parole board, you just are about to come up to be out of jail after 10 years. Why should we let you go? And if the people who are auditioning hesitated whatsoever, they said, you're gone.
Wow.
So out of all those people, these 3 actors that were in the movie were the only ones that were able to, on the spot, just be like, yes, I deserve to be released because of this or that. Because I didn't know this, but 95% of that movie is improv.
Wow.
Because what they did
That's
is
cool.
they told them the main layout for the movie, just kind of the storyline of it. And they said, hey, we're going to put you in the woods. They gave them a GPS tracker and said, you're going to find these crates with a baby script, ideas, and some like artifacts that you can use in the movie. And you can't tell anybody else what your script says. And then it's all improv from then on out.
Wow.
Which honestly gave me a bigger respect for the movie, because anyone that's been in acting, improv's a lot of fun, but unless you have good chemistry with the other person or you're quick,
Tough to keep it going.
Yeah, it's really hard to keep going and make a movie.
I heard a lot of the frustrating scenes where you can see them getting angry or them actually getting frustrated too.
Yeah.
Like it's them actually like losing it for a second.
Yep. And they said that big scene where it's, you lost the map.
Yeah.
And all this, apparently that was a part where they kind of got tripped up and she couldn't remember what more she was supposed to say. So he just kept repeating the line, getting mad at her, hoping she'd catch on to the one little thing she should say. But with them not knowing what the other one's supposed to say, they kept it because it was so raw. And like you said, it was them yelling and actually getting frustrated. Which anyone would be, because they literally had him out there, didn't tell him anything. So they were living off power bars, and that's about it.
It's great.
I thought a hilarious thing was they all decided that their safe word to let them know when to stop filming themselves was taco. So their safe word was taco. So I'll never, anytime I see a taco from here on out, I'm definitely going to be thinking about that.
Definitely.
The three main actors, which was Michael Williams, Joshua Leonard, then Donahue. Just Donahue. No,
Like Oprah.
no first name. My fault. Anyway,
I get it.
they only got paid $1,000 a day, and it was an 8-day shoot, so they only got $8,000 to begin with before collecting royalties.
Sure.
Um,
Wonder what they made off royalties.
they each made at minimum $300,000.
Heather Donahue.
Thank you, Heather.
Heather Donahue.
Heather
I don't know why I
Donahue.
just put Donahue and said Heather. So sorry, Heather.
So they
If you ever
came
listen to
out
this.
pretty good.
No, that's great, and I'm sure it's made more money since then and other movies.
definitely.
Yeah.
That's still what the people point to and say, like, hey, this is a pivotal movie in the horror genre.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Because it changed what people thought a horror movie could be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What I think is crazy is it took, well, not crazy because it probably did take every second of it, but the directors edited it, and it took them 6 months just to edit the film because they had recorded over 19 hours of footage, 19 hours straight footage that they had condensed down into an hour and a half.
I know how tough that is.
Right, I was just thinking that because when you talked about our first episode and how many hours you put into it, it's like, yeah, I believe it took 6 months to
Holy
make.
shit.
And I'm sure, like, I'd like to think that you guys got along the whole time, but I'm sure one of them was like, let's keep this, no, let's get rid of this, no, fuck you, and it took
Definitely.
a while. But yeah, I thought that was crazy. I was like, good God. Because that means they had to watch all of 19 hours.
Right.
And take notes of what they wanted to keep, not to keep. What I wish I could have gotten a hold of to see is that their initial cut for this, for the Sundance Festival, was actually 2.5 hours long. So they did release that version of it, but I wasn't able to find it, and I tried looking it up because I'm kind of curious what more or what different parts there would have been on that.
Right.
Yes. I just lost my place. I am so sorry, you guys.
How dare
The
you?
produ- sorry.
God damn it,
The
Paul.
production
Right?
team. I guess
Son of-
my last big thing that I really appreciate is the production team. They did some trailers for the movie, but not too many. But they were smart because they released their production team, and some brilliant genius on the production team decided to go to all the local colleges on most of the East Coast, some on the West, but mostly the East Coast, and just put up missing poster signs for the three main actors because they knew they couldn't legally just go to the police and say, hey, these kids are missing when they're not, or the news. But they knew that, unfortunately, dumb college kids, enough of them are going to see it and talk about it that someone's going to be like, oh, it's real because I seen it somewhere.
Oh yeah, I got a class with her.
So they all they said is, hey, they're missing, right? And then just word of mouth. Then all of a sudden news networks picked it up and the police actually did an investigation and tried to interview some of those actors' parents even before the movie came out. And then it was like, no, our kids are fine. They're here.
Yeah.
But because of how it was in the 90s and the
It
internet
was
not
fucking
thriving
genius.
like that,
Totally.
they lived it up. And I think that's why it did so good because a lot of people thought it was actual found footage
Yep.
that was made into a movie and they just wanted to see it.
I hope that guy or girl got a raise for whoever's idea that
Right.
was to do
Right.
that.
Because it makes so much sense, and it did make it scary. Because I know even as a kid, granted I was a kid when I first saw it, but the thought that, oh, this is real, like that's terrifying.
Dude, that
Who wants
part
that?
where they hear like the laughter, the
Yes.
children's laughter
Outside
outside
the
the tent. I'm like, oh my god, there's no children out there.
And
That's not right.
the whole scurry you hear with them trying to be like, oh, we need to get the camera and stuff was complete improv because they didn't tell them that scene was going to happen.
Really?
They set up 4 boomboxes outside of their campsite and had those kids laughing in different areas.
Wow.
And just did it in the middle of the night. So the actors woke up, literally had to start the recorder to try to catch it. Then were freaking out because you just got woken up in the middle of the night to something scary.
You know, shouldn't
right.
be out there.
Right. The teeth that they pull out when they think it's their friend's teeth were actual teeth donated by a local dentist, which I thought was kind of cool, kind of weird. I kind of was
the
like
local dentist
Right.
to pitch into the prop department.
down for the cause.
Yeah.
Right?
The town that they filmed it in, where they did all the interviews.
Hyenas.
Huh?
Hyenas.
Mm-hmm.
Burkittsville.
Just wanted to say it, did you?
Is it really called Burkittsville?
It's called hyenas.
No, it's not.
Yes.
No, it's not.
No, it isn't. Oh,
Chris is high.
Oh man,
He's really high.
it really is called hyenas.
But the mayor hated after the movie came because apparently there were so many fans that wanted to know about the Blair Witch thing, even though it's not real.
Is it really my anus?
Dude.
He's going to show you. I don't know why you want to believe Chris. Chris is your friend, bro.
I like Burkittsville better.
I probably didn't spell it right. I literally just wrote my anus.
You might get some interesting.
My anus.
Because there is no real Blair Witch, right?
No, it is not.
As far as
Minus.
we know, anyway. See, that was a sign. I'm sorry, witch.
But apparently the mayor put a huge stop to it, put signs outside the town for a while because people were literally showing up in her house thinking it was like going to be a tour of it and just helping themselves into her own personal house.
I remember hearing about that on the news.
And they were like, one, absolutely not. Two, why the fuck are you in my house?
That's ridiculous.
Just because fans are crazy. And I will be the first to admit horror fans get a little cray-cray.
Yeah.
As a
They're
horror
probably,
fan.
them and then Star Trek fans are probably, and then Star Wars, third coming and third are probably the craziest.
Anime.
Juggalos are in there too.
Anime, juggalos.
Stuff.
All fans are a little crazy.
Yeah, I think that's kind of... We're fans of white people only.
We all go to little mad sometimes.
Don't say, yeah.
I found, this is back in 2016, some information about an extended cut. The co-director, Eduardo Sanchez, pretty much paraphrasing here, well, I'll just say the quote, fuck it. In a couple of weeks, I could probably take the original movie and edit a longer version. I know the fans are like, everybody wants to see it. It would be cool to do, honestly. I wouldn't hesitate to do that if Lionsgate Films hired me. I would think that'd be a lot of fun. And the next thing is pretty much saying Lionsgate owns a film and they don't seem interested in doing it.
I believe
Which
it.
sucks.
Lionsgate kind of drags their ass on everything. They did the same thing to Rob Zombie, so he couldn't release his third installation of the Firefly family. And they were like, well, we have the rights to it, so you can't do shit until, what was it, like 9 years, and then they finally did. Which I think is stingy, because, I mean, I get those movies, they do, all of Rob Zombie's own films with the Firefly family did kind of shitty in theater.
Yep.
But as far as VHS and DVDs and
Cult
after,
classics.
they made a shit ton of money, so it's like, what do you want? You don't make your money off the bat, like you, and I get you want that, but you still, you get a lot of revenue after that.
How much would it really cost to have this guy come in and edit for a couple weeks? Like, how much would it?
Oh, I'm sure they'd pay him like
$4.5 billion.
Well, I mean, I guess Vin Diesel got that much money for Groot, so who knows anymore?
That's true.
I'd say half a bill.
Half a bill? $500 million?
Half a mil, sorry.
500,000, yeah. I could see
Half of $100 bill, $50, about 50.
550. I could see 500.
I would enjoy a longer version of that though.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
But
put it in a Blu-ray special.
Right.
Give me a special box.
That's
I'll buy it.
another hour. It's almost a movie again.
right. And I'm curious. That's what I'm curious about. I'm like, is it more of them hiking? Is it more of the
Probably.
witch? Is it more?
I would like a little
things?
more witch.
I bet it's more dead air.
Yeah,
Honestly.
Yeah.
Tell you what though, that last shot of him in the corner,
Yeah.
it makes me chills go down my spine.
Yeah, I
She's
get a little cringe.
screaming for him, and he's just being so still in that corner. I'm just like, oh my fucking god!
See, and the first time I saw that, my friend had this crazy surround sound system where his parents had like speakers like upstairs in their bedroom and in the hallway and all that. So that scene when she starts upstairs, you hear in that bedroom, and her running down steps moved its way to the hallway and then into the room we were in, and that was terrifying. Just hearing a thump, 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 thump,
Feels like it's in a room with
yeah, because it sounds like they're running down into you, and you're waiting for them to come
That's
around the
almost like
corner.
a Big D experience.
And they had that in the
Real.
90s?
Right.
That's fucking crazy. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
that made it more terrifying because someone's just like, "Who's coming out
I
the
want
door?"
it. That's something I want if I ever have a house. Get a
For
nice
real.
surround sound.
You're going to get a big D system.
No, I get Dolby Atmos.
Oh,
If I had the
I
money,
just
I'd
got
get
a
a
surround.
big D
I just
system.
got a surround sound. Well, like 3 weeks ago, I guess. Something
Yeah.
Like that.
when we move out to the
pretty
house,
good.
Matt, we'll all go in on that.
When
I
a
want-
laser bolt fires on his, I go like that because it feels sometimes like it's like
It's so
going
futuristic.
over-
It has an actual lightsaber in it.
No, you did
Sounds
shit.
like-
It just
sounds like
sounds
we
like
need
it's
to have
going
a
by my
movie night at
head.
his place.
You make me sound like such an idiot.
I mean,
It's an idiom, you idiot.
Yeah.
But that's pretty much all I have for Blair Witch. So
Blair Witch is a great one. I love the beginning quarter, especially when they're just going around town and getting all like the real townspeople to like tell stories about
my
how No, in the movie, real townspeople. Townspeople. To talk about, oh yeah, when I was a young lad, I heard about that witch up in them woods. And they go to that crazy lady's like trailer. And she looks
what about that witch and not that boy?
Yeah. You know what I'm talking about, though?
That's pretty good. That voice she did that.
It's like Mountain Creole.
Right, yeah.
They do the lore really well in the movie.
Yeah, they really do. That's a top-notch thing.
And I love witches anyway, so anything with a witch in it, I'm in.
So, hey, if you're an actual witch, just come on the show. We'd love to talk to you about movies. There's a dog in the background that I can't get edited out, so...
Get at it out. Band name, called it.
Get what?
Get at it out.
I said get edited.
You said get at it. Fuck.
Get edited.
And we mean an actual witch, not just you have crystals in your room that you magically think make you feel fucking better.
I didn't do my voice exercises today, so if I stutter, I apologize.
I mean, if you're one of the crystal witches, you're usually pretty hot. So.
And crazy.
Hey.
Do we need to do exercises?
That checks all our boxes.
Exercise.
Give us a tarot reading.
I'll bring my sister. She does all that. She's sitting out wage. I don't know what.
Yay! All right, we already have a connection with paranormal.
No, I love your sister though. Now I feel like a dick. I didn't mean it.
Right, yeah. When you said that thing with crystals, you read through there. I was like, "That's my sister." I'm so sorry.
Damn it!
You gotta fuck with a crystal.
And I gotta live with Matt. My fault. I'll drink to that. I'm sorry.
But she's not. But she's more. I don't know if she considers herself a witch.
But Wicca.
Did you guys see The Witch?
If you call yourself
with Anya Taylor-Joy? Mm-hmm. God, that one was insane.
That baby killing scene really got me. I was like, don't touch that baby, and she touched that baby.
I just meant more like, don't claim you're a witch if you're in crystals. Because if you say New Age or Wiccan, I'm cool with that. But I'd be like, I'm a witch. I'm like, that's like me saying I worship Satan, but I just don't go to church, and that's it. Like,
I get that.
Don't say you're something extreme.
Yeah, it's unnecessary extremism.
Yeah. Right. Because Wiccan's a New Age, I'm all about it.
I'm a Blink-182 fan. And I get castrated for it all the time.
Why? That's so sad.
I've been castrated so many times, I got no striations left to cast.
Do you need a hug?
No, I need a castration cast. For my castration.
You be castrated? Oh, God.
I need to
You need to
on the next podcast, Cody gets castrated.
We're doing medieval themed movies. Any movies made between the 15 and the medieval times.
Oh my God. I'm gonna bow out of that one because I don't even know.
There's
my
First
gonna
Kid.
be like a YouTube video of the Knights battle from medieval times.
I was thinking more like
I'm
Black
doing
Knight.
I'll do Monty Python.
Oh, that's great. Yeah.
Like with the coconuts.
Click your tongue.
I'm gonna do Blazing Saddles so that you have to edit the fuck out of that podcast.
Don't do that. Don't do that to me.
I would love to do that to you. Or Django.
Oh, is it my turn now?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay, shit.
Yeah.
Well, the movie that I picked in the 90s, The Matrix.
Yes.
I think that is probably still one of the most important movies that has been made. Because it got deep on a level that no movie really had in a while, where people that watched it were still left thinking about it years later. An incredibly devoted fan base. I think that it was probably, outside of like Blade Runner, one of the best examples of what a real cyberpunk dystopia is, and that probably kept the genre going. You good?
Cody?
What?
You good?
Yeah.
I was looking at all the cheese left over. I'm like,
That's what I thought.
I thought you were about to slump out. I was going to find you a pillow.
no, I'm good.
I was like,
Kept the genre going.
Is The Matrix boring to you?
No.
Just me talking about it, huh?
No.
damn.
No, I was just listening. I'm waiting to say what I got to say about it.
So, one of the things that I love about it is the attention to detail that the Wachowskis put into it before they even started making the movie. They wanted to get it made so bad. They had a deal with Warner Brothers to make 3 movies, and The Matrix was one of them. What?
I'm not going to stop eye contact now.
Oh, God.
So they had a deal with Warner Brothers to get 3 movies made, and The Matrix was the 3rd one that they got to make. And the studio kind of was pushing back. They didn't really want to do it because they didn't see it being successful. So the Wachowskis storyboarded the entire thing, like graphic novel style, and hit every single scene. So they basically could flip through and see what the movie looked like before they even had it, like, dreamed of otherwise. They greenlit the movie. They auditioned in a very strange way, where before they would even let the actors look at the script, they had to read these 4 books on philosophy and be able to explain the message of the movie and say what the Matrix was and how it worked and everything.
Wow.
Before they would even let them open the script. Keanu loved it, by the way.
I'm not surprised.
He thought it was awesome. And Carrie Ann Moss did not like it. She said she had some difficulty with it.
She must have caught on because she did great.
That was her first huge role. That was her first, like, she said before that she basically had no career.
Wow.
And that launched her into, like, she was a household name at that point.
Most definitely.
Trinity, help!
One thing that I thought was really awesome that they did as far as the attention to detail as well was that in the screenplay they had written in, like, VFX instructions, what they wanted everything to look like, and they explained how they wanted to do the bullet time effect with the camera rig. I know you know about it. Do you guys know what it actually looked like?
Yeah, all around the 360.
It was 360.
Yep.
It had 2 actual film cameras on the side, but they were all, like, in an angle, like a swoop, to go all the way around. And they just timed them to go a fraction of a second after each other and just go in a circle.
And a green screen behind it.
And a green screen behind it with Keanu on wires dropping down. But what actually ended up happening was they shot it at 12,000 frames per second and just played that at normal speed. And that was what created the slow-mo. Oh. And nobody had ever built a rig like that. The guy that actually built the rig thought of it as soon as he read the screenplay, and he begged the guy at the effects company to let him do it. And he came up with that rig, and he got the effects production supervisor job, I think, just for doing that. And I mean, that's an iconic shot. Yeah. You can't deny that.
Not at all.
And it still looks like a rig.
Oh, it looks insane. Those books that the guys had to read before they looked at the script, the principal crew had to read that too. Everybody that was even filming it had to read all these books and be able to understand it and explain it, which is just crazy. Further into the attention to detail, they wanted everything to be so authentic that they actually got a Hong Kong action cinema choreographer and martial artist to train the actors for their fight scenes. It took them 4 months. Keanu Reeves had a fusion of his spine near his neck, so he was, like, paralyzed from the waist down partially. And he had to get surgery to fix that, and while he was still healing, continued to train so that he could be up to par. God. But he doesn't do a whole lot with his legs in the movie. Yeah. And, like, the stuff he does is, like, big and probably filmed before he had the fusion. There were a lot of, like, injuries on the set. Like, Hugo Weaving, the guy that played Agent Smith, he injured his hip in a stunt and had to have surgery on his hip. Carrie Ann Moss injured her leg on the wall run that she did. She
in the beginning, when she goes around the wall around the cops, when they're firing at her.
So, fun thing about that, to get Warner Brothers to fully back the project, the Wachowskis filmed that intro scene, got it nailed down with her, like, the dive through the window and, like, falling down the stairs and, like, that whole thing, which is the exact opener, and you've, like, never seen a movie open like that before, so it grabs you really quick. But they played the whole thing with her escaping and going into the phone, and they sent that to Warner Brothers, and I think it was De Bonaventura that was the president at that time. He saw that and he was like, "You got whatever you need." That's awesome. Really good call. The movie ended up costing, I think, like $63 million, but it grossed $473 million. I mean, enough to grant a sequel, which earned like $742 million. So I mean, they're doing pretty good. They're fine.
Another one on the way.
Yeah, I hope. I don't know what it's going to be, if not just another cycle, and maybe he's still in there, and he's part of the system now.
I don't think he's the one anymore.
No, the one was always just a rogue program, so he became a program.
And now he's the one.
Right? Is he going to have to fight the one? Is he the new Agent Smith? Does he align with the new one to try and take down the Matrix? Like, it's crazy.
He's going to be the new Oracle.
Yeah,
what's
that could
Trinity
happen.
doing? Yeah, it's interesting.
I'm way in. That whole universe is pretty astounding. The amount of effort they put into building it.
The opening scenes remind me of Vertigo when they're running on the rooftops. The very
I could see
opening.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, and the music.
There was probably a lot of inspiration from cinema like that. They took a lot of hints from other production styles, like the Hong Kong action cinema, and they pulled a lot from anime, like Akira, like the fight scenes and choreography, and the way that they did the shots were very similar to the way they did shots in anime at the time.
Looks like a dance.
The set design, even more attention to detail put into like the way that they designed the costumes. Like Trinity was on wires most of the time, so to help disguise the harness and to have her outfit reflect who she was as a person, they made it skin tight and like oil slick, so you couldn't see it because it was all black leather, and that was her entire thing, was how like elusive she was. And they bothered to go into that much detail with just the costumes. Like in the beginning, when Neo is still Thomas Anderson in the real world, and he's in the office scene where he's trying to run out and get out of there, they made his suit like 2 sizes too small, so that he looked out of place and like uncomfortable.
Oh, that's cool.
And that was just something that they did to further send home like this is him. He's not supposed to be here. And when they were on the ship, the Nebuchadnezzar, they had all the exposed wires and everything like that. That sort of thing was purposefully put in because in the Matrix and in the machine world, everything's pretty perfect, pretty normal. But in the real world where humans are, the effort was to make it look like more of a struggle. Like, it looked uncomfortable. Everything looked uncomfortable. Yeah. Like, Keanu Reeves lost 15 pounds and shaved his entire body for the pod scene, which is a real pod, by the way.
Huh.
That he was actually in. The first person that tested it got hypothermia after 8 minutes inside, so they had to make it like a hot tub for him. So
why would they have made it cold?
Well, they just didn't heat it.
Why would they do that?
I don't know.
Whatever.
Trial and error, boys.
That's pretty much it. I mean, they pioneered a lot of different stuff in this. So, you know, undoubtedly somebody was going to get hurt. The stuntman for Keanu in the subway scene, the fight scene with Agent Smith, broke like 7 ribs and his leg and one of his arms when he took that hit into the ceiling. There was a lot of injury on the set.
He went on to direct John Wick movies, the co-director.
Yeah.
Chad Stahelski.
Yes, thank you.
God, I love those movies.
Yeah.
So good.
Started out as a county stunt double.
In this movie spawned even more than I realized.
It spawned everything. It spawned us.
We're in the Matrix. It was one of the first movies in a while to ask big questions of its audience before even like getting into the action. Really, like, what does it mean to be a human? What does it mean to be alive? What is consciousness? Right. Like, what is choice? What role does choice play in how you live? And they get into more of the choice stuff in the actual elements of the movie, but to ask big questions like that inside a movie where you have Keanu Reeves and Lawrence Fishburne fighting on wires inside of a Hong Kong action cinema dojo. Yeah. That's pretty awesome. Yeah. So they managed to take something that serious and still make it fun and make it feel like a ride the whole time. That was pretty cool.
Right.
Also, I was stoned when I wrote most of this.
That's fair.
and I'm asking big questions. I say, is everything without meaning an illusion? Is it prophecy? Metaphor? Or both?
Damn, Chris.
Is the desire to achieve true freedom fruitless?
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I was just like,
Deep shit.
geez, this is what this movie's talking about. That's
Yeah.
the stuff that's the themes that they're working with. And then they can still, like, just a little funny moment where he sees a girl in a red dress.
Right.
And, like, for a moment, he's like, oh, that's the shit that I like about this place.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, those little things are really cool.
I thought it was crazy that they originally wanted Will Smith to do it.
Yes.
To play Neo.
He said he was not mature enough as an actor to take it anyway, like, looking back.
Yeah.
You know why he turned it down?
He said they were crazy.
No.
How they described it.
He wanted to film the Wild Wild West.
Right.
They wanted Sean Connery for Morpheus.
No, that's a myth.
That's not true.
That's not true. They
Well,
wanted him
Val
for
Kilmer.
they wanted him for the architect.
Right.
Oh.
But Val Kilmer as
Val Kilmer
Morpheus.
was still for
Morpheus.
for Neo. They wanted Will Smith.
that's-
They wanted Johnny Depp first.
That's right.
They wanted Nicolas Cage,
Oh.
Brad Pitt, Val Kilmer.
I could have seen Brad Pitt.
How far down the list was Keanu?
Yeah.
Next,
Dang,
like 7th or
that's
8th.
crazy.
Everything works out, I guess.
Right?
There was who was it? There was somebody that they almost went with, but
Will Smith went straight downhill too.
dude,
I'll do the Wild Wild West.
I'll do Wild Wild West. That's very much more a
But-
palatable movie.
But then he did Men in Black.
Yeah,
Right.
because
he
he
did
did.
end up-
Was 97.
So was it? So then it was Independence Day after Wild Wild West.
Independence Day came before
Men in Black.
Wild Wild West.
Because he didn't want to be the alien guy, and I thought Spielberg was Men in Black.
Yeah, Spielberg was on
Spielberg.
Midway.
So yes, so Independence Day came out first, and he said he didn't want to be the alien guy. And Spielberg was like, "Don't listen to your own fucking mind. Like, let me tell you, you need to be
Men in
this."
Black is Steven Soderbergh.
I thought Spielberg did.
I thought I did too. Now I'm tripping out. You're probably right because I don't know. I talk a lot of shit, you guys. For you in the audience that don't actually know me.
Oh, one thing that I thought was
Yep,
funny about
Sonnenfeld. Damn.
Barry Sonnenfeld.
Barry Sonnenfeld.
And F. Gary Gray. Sorry.
Ripped Torn.
Okay.
Oh, 95, he was, Bad Boys came out in 95.
He's ripped and torn.
Yeah, that was the big
Independence
coming out.
Day was 96. Men in Black was 97. And
Wild
then
Wild West was
99.
99.
Yeah, 99.
Well,
yeah.
it
I
could
didn't
have
mind that movie.
It could have been The Matrix. It wasn't bad. Like, I mean, yeah, it was, but it wasn't.
What?
It wasn't
It wasn't the
unenjoyable.
worst.
What?
Wild Wild West.
It wasn't date night or epic movie.
It's a guilty pleasure movie. I think
The whole
it has
TV
merit.
series is awesome as fuck. I'm serious, it is.
Um,
Dun, 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 bum, bum, bum.
they wanted Janet Jackson for Trinity.
Oh, God.
Nope.
No.
Isn't that weird?
That is weird.
For Morpheus, I think they said. I know that
Paul Rubens.
I know they
Oh, my God.
Henry Winkler.
they talked about
He's starting to believe.
Samuel Jackson.
Okay.
Oh wait, I have it pulled up already over here.
God.
My head is gonna explode.
I still can't believe he got shit for masturbating in a porno theater. It's a
229.
porno theater, for Christ's sakes.
What else is he supposed to be doing?
I don't know. That's what I was curious about.
Right?
229.30. Okay.
It's not like
Straight out
that.
there.
I can't say masturbate?
What?
Why did you say 229.30?
I'm clicking.
Oh.
He's saying Psalm 229.
I thought it was something we said. I was like, we can't say masturbate.
What was I looking up? Oh, the other people that they
Originally
were going to cast. Gary Oldman.
Wow.
Gary Oldman and Samuel L. Jackson and Val Kilmer. Yeah, Val Kilmer. But they had also considered
Jesus.
Val Kilmer for Neo. They really
You know how
liked
awful
Val
Samuel L.
Kilmer.
Jackson would have been? Do you want the blue pill or the fucking red one?
That's what you want, the blue pill or the red pill, motherfucker?
I can imagine him having the same wardrobe, though.
Yeah. Why, because they're both black?
No.
Yep.
No, because Morpheus is pimped out.
2:30.
2:30.
I am not a racist individual.
Oh, shit. Can I try the cookie?
Please,
Chris?
yeah.
God almighty.
Oh man, I'm thirsty. I'm a thirsty boy.
What you want? I already up.
Just like an actual like beverage.
What do you want? Jesus.
God damn it! What do you want?
So what kind of non-alcoholic beverage do you require?
I just drink water.
Are you sure?
I'm picky.
Do I wait till it lights up?
Do you need anything? Are you good?
Oh,
So
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah, I'm good.
Oh, okay.
I appreciate it.
Oh. And I just hit it after that? Okay.
Press and hold to light it, and then you pull while it's lit.
Press it, pull it, pop it,
Let go and keep pulling.
spit on it,
There's more in there still, probably.
fuck it,
Pull it. Pop it. Twist it.
swallow it, swallow it.
Must taste sweet.
Right?
Wow.
It's Cookie Crisp.
Cookie crisp. Yeah.
God.
I love that we did it at the same time.
Paul Dunn is taking a pee break at 4 a.m.
Yeah, thanks for giving me the actual time and not the recording time, Paul.
Just trying to make it complicated for you, sweetheart.
One other thing that I thought was really cool were the practical effects again, but the practical effects that were put in to help the VFX shots, like that model rig. But one thing that they did that I thought was really, really cool was they actually filmed in an office building in Australia for that whole shot. And to simulate the entire environment that they wanted to, like the city surrounding it inside the Matrix, they built up a 3-story tall cyclorama, which is just like a giant circular panoramic painting, but they made it digitally and just projected it on the outside so that from any angle out the window that you would see, it looked like a city, but it actually wasn't there at all. It was all projected.
That's fucking awesome.
I love that.
Bizarre. I've never heard of anybody doing that again.
In
It's
99.
Yeah, it's almost akin to the VR set that the Mandalorian shot on.
Which that thing is like...
That's this times 10, but this had to happen first.
Because they don't have to alter any of that Mando stuff in post. It's
Right,
just,
it's just
in
there.
there.
It's
Yeah,
absolutely
Is it?
crazy.
Yeah.
So I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all
I have not
it's
looked
like
into
on a
it.
VR set,
I didn't know.
so that it's an entire surround.
And that's why if you stand in one spot and watch
Are you
it,
serious?
if you stand in one spot and watch it, and the camera's moving in the shot, you'll see it in the background moving because it's following the camera to stay in line with the camera to keep looking like it's got depth.
So crazy.
I did not know that. Like, I really didn't know that.
And it's like 8K and shit, so it just
Right,
moves
yeah.
right back into the background.
Before that helicopter shot where they collided into the building and had to do the ripple and everything, they had the scene where Keanu caught the helicopter and like pulled it back. That was a real helicopter on wires that they were swinging through the set, and it had a real minigun on it. It was actually shooting 3,000 rounds a minute of blanks. So when Keanu was in the helicopter shooting it, he was in a helicopter on wires with a minigun shooting blanks at that office building.
How fun.
Right? That's fucking crazy.
You can
And
tell
that
in
water
the
scene,
movie
that
too
beep,
because
beep,
you
beep,
can
beep.
see it. You can see it, the ripple on effect
Yes.
on him, on his body.
So incredibly crazy.
You ever shot a 50 cal pay?
I think that this movie probably has a legacy and like a pop culture relevancy that movies are still trying to achieve. It's already gotten saved by the National Registry. Like this movie is going to be preserved and accessible for the rest of time because of how important it is. It got added in 2012. It was released in 1999. Like
It's fast.
that's fast, which really tells you.
That's faster than you can say the one.
I just can't even do it.
See?
I can't bring myself.
See?
Um,
It's because you're
I
a
think-
headed titty liquor.
this might be the movie that pretty well launched Hugo Weaving as well, because I can't really think of a movie that he did before that is a character that I remember.
Excuse me, John McClane, Die Hard.
Hugo Weaving?
Yeah, and he played Buddy the Elf in Elf.
I believe it. He's that good.
You're fired. You're fired from the pod. We are firing Cody from
Cody
the
is
podcast.
fired. We've been recording for 2 hours and 44.
Yeah.
2:44.
Oh yeah, well
Now we are now 3 sheets to the wind.
I'm unfiring myself because I unbelieve and
He does have access to our business account.
And
Ha,
I'm a veto it, and I'm a dark guy, so we can't go against the only dark guy. So
Oh, son of a bitch.
Wow.
Cody's
Do
your
you
son.
know America?
I don't love it though.
This is America.
It's Biden's America now. So we'll see.
I watched part of the inauguration.
I didn't.
Part of, you sorry,
missed
what? The what was that word you used there?
The graduation.
I watched part of the inauguration.
Okay. I watched none of it. Because I just didn't care. I mean, I care. I'm glad. Like, I'm happy he's in it. But
I'm not the American.
Let me tell you what happened in it. I'm gonna tell you what happened in it. Not jack fucking shit.
I did see him sign some papers.
Yeah,
like Kamala Harris was like moving the books for him.
He blow kissed away and waved, and then got in a limo and drove off.
Yeah.
Emily's dad brought a TV to where he does construction. So he's in the back of his guy construction van as his TV, and they all stopped to watch, I guess, the swearing in of Kamala Harris and then Joe Biden. Okay. I mean, I know it's a big moment for a lot of people. For me, it's just they're getting sworn in. I'm ready to see what they're going to do. I don't really care about that symbolic crap.
It's a little bit, it's kind of like pageantry.
Yeah.
Like,
you
already know that you're in. Just start, like, go to work. This is for you.
I will say the Kamala Harris one, I can understand people wanting to see that one.
That's
a big moment, yeah.
She's the first woman, Asian, African, Native American, to be vice president.
To be a woman in America today.
Yeah. Imagine what their orgasms.
I got nothing else to say.
I wouldn't know. I've never made a girl come.
246.
You ever titty fucked a midget?
God damn. Okay, we're still in it. One thing
I'm sorry.
One thing that this will be the last thing that I want to say about the movie, and it's just something that they bothered to put in that made even the sequels bearable once I understood what it was. Oh man! All right, I'm going down a road. Yeah. Let's halt that train.
Not to get off another topic.
Let's get off on another stop.
North Carolina reported its first case of the highly contagious COVID-19 variant in Mecklenburg.
Oh god damn it!
Yeah, I told you it was going to go.
I didn't know it was going to be that quick.
Yeah.
You know what does protect you from COVID? Having just a fucking wall of bong resin in your lungs. They can't even get in there.
Sacrifice a virgin to a volcano god.
Where the fuck are you gonna find a virgin
that's of age?
Everybody. Bella.
That's my kitty. If you can hear her, her name is Bella.
He's got her by the neck and he's shaking her around, as you can hear.
So we love shaking cats in this house.
She sounds like she's mad.
She's just hungry.
Yeah.
But she's not.
It's not even time for her to be fed yet.
You hungry, Bella?
Told you she's a bullshitter.
Yeah.
I'll get up at like 6 a.m. to go outside to smoke, and she'll be, meow. I'm like, no one feeds you this fucking early. Like, it's not like you're
like, it's not like Matt slept in and you need food. It's like, no, you don't eat for another 4 hours, bitch. 3 hours.
Like Monday through Friday, she gets fed right about 9:15 when I'm getting ready for work. Or I'll clock into work and then I'll feed her.
She's a bullshit.
Young Bella girl.
Yeah, Matrix. I remember when I first watched Matrix. I was at Atlantic Beach. I was with my cousins, 2 cousins, and their parents. My mom's sister and her husband. It was just I love the beach. My grandfather we used to have a trailer down there. But we went to the theater, watched it, and just came out. And me and my cousins were trying to emulate their moves, and it was just blew my mind. Like this, I was just stunned.
Think about how many people tried to emulate their moves.
Yeah.
Think all the different copies. That's probably the most lampooned shot in an action movie, ever.
Yeah.
And
even with the Scary Movie, which is supposed to be parodying horror movies, it parodied Matrix
multiple times too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Like almost every one of them has a Matrix moment.
Yeah.
And
True.
No, I mean
the chair.
I get it. You know.
Yeah.
It's
well
awesome.
deserved.
They actually won. They won Academy Awards. Sorry, Paul's showing me a gif of a cat jacking off.
What the fuck?
He's jacking his little weenus.
It just popped into my shit, man. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, like wow.
Just popped into it. What the hell are you looking at to make it just pop into your shit?
I like bestiality porn. All
okay.
Right?
Whoa.
2:30. That'll be your intro. I'm Paul. I like bestiality porn.
And I got herpes.
Yeah, right, a few things.
Oh wow.
It's like I need to use more hand sanitizer.
Note to self, more sanitizer.
I think it won 4 Academy Awards, all of them for VFX and sound design, which it well deserved, especially that year. Even though it was going up against Phantom Menace for all of those.
Wow, that was big. Big shoes to fill.
For the sound design and everything, yeah, I guess.
Ben Burt, baby.
I know that movie, people hate that movie the most, I think, out of Star Wars movies, but I didn't mind Phantom Menace, to be honest.
Pod race chase. I love that pod race chase.
Now that's pod racing.
Shut the fuck up. And the end Maul fight between Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan is awesome as fuck.
God, that set up like an iconic character in that universe. But you can still play as him in the video games because people just loved him that much.
And then we got him again in Insidious, so it made us all even happier.
So good. So good.
I was so mad with Insidious with that.
So great.
I was like, you guys didn't even make an effort. You were like, I can draw Darth Maul. Okay, just make him a little different so we don't get in trouble with Disney. And they were
sounds like Sean Connery in
the
60s. I can draw Darth Maul.
That was a good impression.
He's still cool with hitting women. Did we listen to that interview last time, or did we just talk about that last time?
I think we just talked about it because I didn't want to have to edit it out.
Yeah.
Okay, then I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah. We do not support.
Holy fuck.
that.
We have already like 30 more minutes of audio than we had last time.
Yeah.
But it seems like it was more constructive this time.
Oh, yeah. Oh, but anyway, so Matrix gets 10 guns.
10 guns out of 10?
10 guns, I would agree.
10
100%,
guns.
100%.
I would agree. I would have to say
10 red pills.
There we go. Or blue pills.
I'm going to say 9
Or blue
and a half.
What was the red or blue? What was the difference? I can't remember.
There's always something
The red were considered an allegory to the estrogen pills that people have to take when they transition to female, which is why the movie has a lot of trans themes.
Wow.
Switch was actually supposed to be, I think, a woman in real life, but a man in the Matrix.
Interesting. I did not
know that. But the studio scrubbed that.
Of course.
The Wachowskis had to dial everything back to pure symbolism. So the disconnection from one's body and the idea that in the Matrix you have to be a certain way, but in the real world you could be, like that sort of thing. That they played a lot with those kind of themes, which is great that they were able to try and very subtly broach the subject in a time when it wasn't even close to okay.
Now they're transgender both.
Yeah. Which is great. We support that.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes. Do whatever you want.
My dumbass. I didn't realize it until recently that they were transgender. I thought I was like, oh wow, they got sisters to do this.
The first time that I heard, I was like, they were twin sisters too,
right? Yeah, I was like, what kind of family? How? What the hell's going on in that family?
That might be like the purest, dumbest reaction you can have. Just like, yay!
Yeah,
they're sisters.
Andy Dwyer reaction.
But anyway,
which is fine.
10 guns. Did you guys see 2 Guns?
It's not a poetry reading.
Yeah, that's a good movie.
Denzel and Mark Wahlberg.
We can't clap.
It's a fun movie.
Oh yeah, clap! Yay!
Please clap.
It's funny.
After Trump got elected, I saw people were posting bumper stickers that were Jeb, and it was like, you should have clapped. And it was just him, that was it. God, his entire life's going to be summarized by that stupid thing he did.
John Wick 2020, that's what my bumper sticker says. That's what the sticker on my computer says.
I think
Wick
there was,
2020.
I saw one that was like Giant Meteor 2020, just fucking end it.
No, I don't want to die. I just want better.
I mean, that is a step up.
Dead is better.
That song was like something like any competent
adult.
Any competent adult.
We did good today.
Yeah. We did good today.
Yes.
So I guess that's the outro. We did good.
We did good.
We did good. We know that we did good. Whether anybody ever listens to this or not, fuck you. Don't. I mean, if you're listening, don't fuck you.
If you chew Big Red, then fuck you.
Show this to your friends, and then when they're like, "No, I've never heard this before," be like, "Wow."
Packs of wild dogs are taking over most of the major streets.
Right.
Hide in your homes.
And just be safe. Wear a mask, and wash your hands, and wash your ass. And we've all tested negative for COVID. Just wondering if people, someone's going out there's going to be like, well, you guys are all together. Look, we all tested negative. So
half
it's okay.
of us live together. Half of us work together.
Exactly. So
we all kiss. So,
right.
If
one of us, a proper way to say hello. We're European in this bitch.
Yeah, little tongue goes a long way. But, well, anyway, I'm Chris.
Golf frisbee's a real sport.
That's Cody.
And I'm Matt.
We're 4 sheets to the wind. Thanks.
Good one.
Love you.